For the longest time, I didn't believe that it really had happened. It's, you know, being a bereaved parent, it takes you quite a while to realize the reality that your child is dead. But a whole lot of yelling and screaming and praying, but unfortunately they couldn't bring her back.
Oh. And Ellie was not the first child to die in one of these so-called play yards. I understand that dozens of children have died in unsafe portable cribs. And I know that you were wrestling with your daughter's death, but at the same time, you knew you had to do something. So you've been fighting for change. Tell me what has finally happened that has given you some sense of justice.
Well, I'm thrilled that the CPSC has now passed mandatory standards for play yards and the way they're designed and the way they're tested, better specifications on the product. So I'm really pleased that they've come through with these mandatory standards, because I had no idea that, you know, these standards didn't exist before this time, and it's crazy that they didn't exist before, that children's products are out there and there's no demand for them to be tested in a particular way, and now they're protected.
You know, part of the problem is that the dangers might be unknown to the parents. So as you mentioned, there were 97 products recalled last year, which, as you said, has gone down. But that's still almost 2 products a week that are recalled. And many of these children, like the one that you mentioned, are actually hurt prior to the recall. It's their deaths or injuries that lead to the recall. And unfortunately, unlike the play yards, which now, thanks to the efforts of Kids in Danger and parents like Lisa, now have strong safety standards, it's possible to put products out there on the market that aren't safety tested, even though they're intended for our most vulnerable children, our babies, to sleep in. And that's what led to many of the deaths last year, were simply sleep products that weren't tested for safety before they were sold.
Right, and we assume that every product on the shelf is safe when we go into a baby store. Sharon, why is that not always the case?
You know, it's surprising because parents always assume that every product they see on a store shelf has been tested. And you would think with infant and toddler products, that would be the fact. But there's over 18 different categories of infant and toddler products, and only 4 of them have standardization around them, which is shocking. And I really don't think the parents notice that or understand that at all. So it's really about informing the parents, letting them know what kind of research they need to be doing, making sure they're aware of recalls, registering their products really well. Those are all steps that they can be taking in order to make sure that they're doing the best research possible, as Lisa said, on the products they're purchasing.
Well, Nancy, most recalls, nearly a third of them, were for nursery products. We all think that infant products are supposed to be, you know, the safest. But right, for items like the ones that we're seeing on the screen now, there's no safety standards at all. Why is that?
That's right. That's because these particular products fall out of the common definitions that we've used to define infant sleep products. So cribs now have a very strong safety standard. Again, the law that requires that is named after our founder's son, who was killed, like Lisa's daughter Ellie, in an unsafe play yard. So cribs, play yards are what you might think of as portable cribs. Bassinets have a standard that will soon be coming out. But these products you see here, someone just thought they were a good idea and made them, and because they don't fit this definition of a product that has a standard, through our system they're simply allowed to be put on store shelves without that safety testing. And then unfortunately it's our children who find the fatal flaws in them.
And, you know, Sharon, doesn't the manufacturer have a responsibility in all of this? And what is a parent to do?
You know what? A manufacturer does have a responsibility. There's no doubt about it. You know, there's organizations like the Juvenile Product Manufacturer Organization, and they actually do certification standards. And you know what? The manufacturers need to be putting on their packaging exactly the dangers of the product. You know, we were even talking in the office today that a QR code on a product would be a great idea. A parent can go into a store, scan a code, be able to see on the manufacturer's website exactly what this product does. Another really important thing, the products that do have registration cards, make sure, car seats, cribs, things like that, make sure to register your products, because that's your best way to know if a product has been recalled and what you can do about it.